Shidim Shari. It's Friday, Jan 14, 2014. All right, Adobe announced earnings last night. Fantastic number, fantastic projection, guidance. Beats everything that we can expect it, right? So is it a surprise that we have a massive gap up? But where are we right now pre-market? 526, 527. I trimmed last night. Prior when the market closed at 4 o'clock, I put in an order at 485, and then it's the smallest trim order I had in mind. But I also had in mind to trim up here at 515, and then of course that trigger as well. And then I have one last order in equal amount at 526 something. It was 526.25, something like that. Okay. First off, the reason why I did 485 was I figured if it was decent news, there could be a pop and an overshoot of a fib, right? I left the busy looking chart, the fib line in there. And of course, same thing here, 515 is why I figure right below the 100 MA is potentially another spot that there could be seller coming in. And lastly, why did I pick 526 something as my last spot to trim? As always, I always highlight the psychology of what I call, the term I call, which I don't hear anyone else talk about, is regret holders. Okay, it's what happened when you have a big gap down. All the people that bought in the previous 9 months that didn't sell, or the stop didn't kick in because the gap down was so much, and then they didn't sell on this pop here, and then they endured 3 months of pain, right? So you have those regret holders that saw the 526, 527 and said, oh my God, here's my chance to fix the mistake that I made back in March. Okay, that's just the way it is. Okay, if you trade or invest long enough, you've seen this happen over and over again. That's why TA, as I mentioned many times in the past many years, I wish there was a better name that people come up for technical analysis, because it's more psychology related. Okay, it is what it is. I'm not wise enough to come up with a more fancy term, but it's a measurement of psychology, greed and fear and regrets. Right? It's greed, fear, FOMO, regrets. Okay, all those things. That's part of what make TA what TA is. All right, so if you didn't trim last night, it would be wise to trim a little bit here pre-market. Okay, now can it close a gap? Where would I trim next? Now, is 530 a bad spot? Not really. 530 is basically near the low of this right here. Okay, so it's not close the gap, but it is a reference point that not a bad idea to trim for sure. Here, okay, the 200. That's where my trim order is. 543. Okay, so I'm aiming for that overshoot or touch right there. So if there is a 543 today or next week, I will be out more. So if you're looking to sell, right there. Now, where would I raise my stop? That's a tricky one. What I would do is wait to see what's going on today and then decide on where I will raise my stop over the weekend. All right, so it's always tricky on a big gap up to see for sure, depending on how the candle look for today. The stop can be somewhere, could be at the bottom of the low end of the low of the gap up. So we'll see. It's too much gain, especially if it come up to 526, 527, and then stay. It's way too much gain, especially on the remaining share that I have. The average cost is somewhere in the 460, like low 460. Okay, down here on this nasty day here. Okay, so yeah, it's way too much. $60 of gain, $50 of gain. No, I'm not giving up that much. Okay, so we'll see. Palantir, I thought about trimming when it was 24. I thought about it. Okay, it's a channel here. Okay, I did not change the color because yeah, you see low, high, low, high, high. Okay, so it's a down channel within an up channel. All right, so it's not. That's why it's not a big deal. It's a bigger deal if it fall out of the up channel, but right now it is a channel within a channel, and it's consolidating. Right now, would I trim at 25.5? Yes, that's what I'm aiming for because, like I said, 25.5. Yeah, 25 and above, really. You know, I mean, sure, you can be greedy and do. The reason why I say 25.5 because that's the upper channel. Okay, that's the top of the big channel up here. So I'm gonna be a little bit greedy and have my. That's where my trim order is 25.5, and then I wouldn't mind selling naked put at 22.5, depending on what the stock do. You know, on a big ugly, if it's like a big down day, I'll sell 21.5 naked puts. Okay, I was selling 21 naked put, 20.5 naked put over here, but now that the stock is up here, there's not much, but I don't mind adding to it. Even with all that being said, I am holding more Palantir now than ever. Okay, I started to trade Palantir down here. It was a long time. I traded Palantir before, but there was a 6 months or almost 9 months span where I kind of out of my radar, and then I start to come back here, right? I think I can't remember exactly, but yeah, I'm pretty sure we talk about it was on one of the viewer asked me a question about Palantir, and all of a sudden it came back into my conscious, and I'm glad I did, and then I've been trading it since, right? I don't remember if it was here or here. It's one of those before a gap up. That's all I can remember. My memory is so bad now that the short-term memory went to hell as you get older. Anyhow, that's the play. Trim 25.5, sell naked put 22 or below, depend on the action. To build up more Palantir. Okay. Last for today, CRM. That was ugly. I thought about buying the dip because that was just nasty. That was one of the nastiest drop for this quarter. Okay, because you're talking about a triple gap fill. Is it the first time that something like that happened? No, there are plenty of other times when you see something that fill multiple gap. But look at that, one gap, one tiny gap here, and then of course the last gap down here. So triple gap, right? And the next day surprised me. Okay, surprised me, and then fill the gap. So first of all, there was a triple gap down, and then it managed to fill the gap a week later. Yeah, a week later, it filled it returned all three gaps. Wow. So insane movement. All right. So if you're fast enough to trade, that was a chance to make 15% on that move. But that was crazy. I did not do anything. Right. Especially when I see the 20 is crossing the 200, that's kind of bearish, right? So I want to see what's going to happen here. Okay. I want to see how the stock react when the 20, it is there. It is there. It's touching, right? So um, if it stabilizes in this area right here, or even it come down here, sure, would I love to buy at ref low at 214-ish? Yeah. But I like CRM. Okay, make no mistake. I do like CRM. I have a small position that get caught on this downdraft. That's okay. Um, I made plenty of money on this move up here, so I trim a lot. I trim 75% of my position on this move up here, so I can't complain. I would like to restock down here, okay, for the long run. I said by long run, I mean multiple years, okay. It's a kind of position where it's a kind of company that I want to have a foothold for years to come, and CRM is one of them for sure. All right, Friday. Let's see how the market will react. Yesterday was a very muted day, to my surprise. I don't know where it's gonna go today. Look like at least pre-market, everything look red. I see SPY is down. Let's see what else is down. Let's see what else is down. But yeah, look like it's gonna be a red morning at the open. Um, TLT popping, pre-market popping 94.5. So I'm not gonna complain if that's how it plays out for today. TLT up and the rest of the equity market down. It will balance out okay. Good luck, people. At least for me today, not that many put position in danger that I need to babysit. Have a good Friday. Bye bye.